Well, someone, in fact, who was ready to come into the ABC's front door this morning, 7 o'clock, opened up, and there in front of me was local schoolteacher librarian Kathy Booth. Kathy, morning.
Morning, how are you going?
Good. You are schoolteacher librarian?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I didn't know we still had libraries at schools.
Of course, they're a very important part of the school functioning.
I just thought they were all computers now. Everyone did their own research and that was it.
No, a lot more than that.
I am pleased to hear that, and I'm pleased to hear that you're in charge of one of them. So,
Yes.
but you're not here to talk about the Walkervale State School, a great school it is, but you're here to talk about kids from somewhere else, in fact, and that is you want to help out some very young people, some orphans in Kenya. And
Yes.
that got me thinking, okay, now we're going to end this conversation with a couple of fundraisers that you're doing, and it sounds like you have a little bit of a laugh as well at the same time when it comes to your fundraisers.
Yes.
But let's go right back to the start if we can. I mentioned helping young people in Kenya.
Yes.
Why Kenya?
I visited Kenya last year. I'm part of a around the world trip, and was overcome by the immense poverty. We donated money to help while we were there, and decided that I couldn't let it go. So when I got back to Australia, I decided that I had to do more, and so I returned to Kenya again in June of this year and volunteered at an orphanage. Saw how that ran. Saw that there were at least, I could have 10 orphanages for every orphanage that was there. So when I got back, because of the immense poverty and children without parents, decided that when I come back that I would do something about it, which I have.
You're a person of your word. This round-the-world trip you were taking,
Yes.
that was meant to be a holiday, was it?
It was a holiday, and we went to Kenya simply for a safari, and Rwanda. And same deal in Rwanda. Saw how it had come back from the genocide. But Kenya just got to me. I can't explain it any other way. Just got to me.
And it stays with you.
Yes, yes.
So you want to open another orphanage?
Yes.
Okay. What will make this one different then to the ones that are there now?
What will make it different? Well, I volunteered in one, and then I visited another one run by an Irish lady. The one I volunteered is run by an English lady. Both of them function tremendously well. So, but both of them are to capacity. So I found out from the government where a need for another orphanage would be and what part of the east coast of Kenya, and how mine will be based on the trial and errors of those two and combine how effectively they run. And they both run very effectively, and they're both quite different in how they're set up.
You mentioned, of course, that there needs to be more orphanages.
Yes, most definitely.
Is part of that also geographical, though, Kathy, that it's good to have the children not moving too far away from their original village?
Yes, correct. So there are several orphanages on the north coast of Kenya near Mombasa, and the south coast as well. But so the children still are able to have contact with their relatives or any surviving villages that they grew up with. They can still have the contact and still keep their culture as much as possible. That's why to have it, within a rural situation is much better. Yeah.
What shape does an orphanage take? Is it already established building or buildings that you're looking at? Are you looking at building an orphanage?
Okay, good question. I could have gone that way. However, I could see both the orphanages that I visited had started from scratch. So therefore, I've taken on board what I saw there. And I know that I want it to be self-sustainable. So I needed a large amount of land to grow our own crops, have our own livestock, make it self-sustainable so that, and eventually have room to build a school. I mean, that's my ultimate goal, to educate these children so they can be the change. And it's only a small thing to do, really, in the big picture, but by educating them, giving them a home, that will be my ultimate goal. So to build it from the ground up will be exactly the vision I have, and using the experience of both the other orphanages, which both owners of the orphanages are helping me. Yes.
Lovely. You've already got a name for it?
Yes. Umoja.
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 Okay.
Yes.
What does Umoja mean?
Umoja means in Swahili, the native language of Kenya, unity and togetherness. And I needed a name that meant, to me personally, two countries working together for one cause. So Umoja was it. I tossed around with a lot of other names, but they were quite long, and I just needed one word.
Please, and we're thankful for that. In the meantime, we're talking about orphans, we're talking about very young people with tragic starts to their life.
Yeah.
For those that don't know why are there so many orphans in Kenya?
Okay, why is there so many orphans in Kenya is because of the AIDS crisis and the fact that the villages are so poor. You can't comprehend it unless you've been there. And, for example, their parents die. They have elderly grandparents. They can't feed them. There is no government like Centrelink. There is no support whatsoever. So if their immediate relatives can't look after them, then they become homeless and starve. And just to get a food every day is a huge task. For example, in Mombasa, there is what's called the Hindu community have every Sunday what's called a food kitchen, and 2,500 children at least walk miles and miles each day to attend the food kitchen to get their only meal for a week. And I don't think in Australia we can imagine that.
Is that part of the problem sometimes, Kathy, is we can't imagine something that has already touched your heart and your soul so deeply by you being there?
Yes, I mean, for example, one morning I got up after being there after I got back from the orphanage, and I made myself a coffee. And it was then that hit me, and that was late July. I can just get up and make myself a coffee any day. I can do what I like. And I have a privileged life. And then I thought, well, you know, things I take for granted, you know, even carting water I had to do when I was there because we ran out of water. And that was a big eye-opener to me, that just to get water was a struggle in some villages because of the drought there.
So will the fundraisers be ongoing? I would imagine during the construction period and the purchase period, of course. But will we be hearing from you from time to time as more money is needed?
Yes, you will, most definitely. Yes. Our target was $40,000 to buy the land and a van to begin the process, and hopefully I will have that amount by the time I leave for Kenya in January. I'm going for 3 months, and most of it is unpaid to begin. And yes, you will be hearing from me. Self-sustainability is the most important thing, so I'm going to try and make it as self-sustainable as I can, so that I don't have to keep asking.
Yeah, sure. And it's an investment in the future as well, because you mentioned a school. So
yes, that's the ultimate goal, to educate these children.
Now, with the time at 23 past 7 on breakfast on ABC Wide Bay, the soft sell, because this is interesting that you don't put your hand out and say, please give me some money, I've found some people who are worse off. You've got the Tanzanian Trivia Challenge coming up and the Nairobi Night Out, plus apparently some sort of golf function as well, which is kind of nice because it's a way of having fun, making new friends, of course, locally as well, but at the same time raising the all-important funds to help you and the project in Kenya. So the Tanzanian Trivia Challenge, tell me a little bit about that, if you will, please. Okay,
Tanzanian Trivia Challenge. We decided that we'd have a campaign called Raise the Roof for Umoja, to raise, as a metaphor, to raise the roof. So we wanted to have every function that we can, if we can, as a African theme. So that way people can feel the Africa that I love. And so the trivia night, normal trivia night with lots of questions and lots of games in between, lots of raffles, and a good night out, fantastic night out at Walkervale State School Hall, and all tickets are being pre-sold, and can I just say, Bundaberg businesses have been incredibly generous with their donations and their help. Incredibly generous for not knowing me and knowing that I'm just starting out on my project.
Yeah. But I think your personality and your desire are quite a driving force, and a bit contagious too, might I say, Kathy, as well. Now, we can get in touch with you at Welcome at the Walkervale State School for more details on that. 7:30 start Wednesday, 16th of November. Tanzanian Trivia Challenge. Does that mean you've got to be really up on your Tanzanian knowledge?
No, not at all. No, it's just the theme. It will be a normal trivia night,
all right, then.
But there will be some African questions in there. Most definitely.
Proving my dumbness on several levels. So moving on, the Nairobi Night Out. Now, this is a little bit different as well.
It is different. I've been really fortunate. The Electric Banana Band, a local band, have fully donated their gig for me for that night. And so it's going to be... I've never actually seen them, but I've had a look at them on YouTube, and they look fantastic. Matt Farthing, the singer, has been a tremendous help, and so there'll be lots of exciting games between brackets, and I'll also have a food van there to sell food during the night. Oh,
lovely. So all complete with the Electric Banana Band, and apparently you again, the contact details for that one, $20 per head.
Yes.
Wow. Value for money. Now, that's happening on the 3rd of December.
3rd of December, right. Yes. And anybody can contact me at Kathy at umojahome.com. That's umojahome.com.
Okay. I have it on good authority. The Electric Banana Band is awesome.
Really?
Absolutely
I can't wait
awesome.
to see them. Yeah, can't wait to see them.
Yes. Now, there's a third thing as well, but I don't have details of this, so I can cross my arms and you can tell me all about this particular golf day that's coming up.
Oh, right. Okay. I live at Coral Cove, and my husband plays golf down there quite frequently when he's home.
Quite frequently, I believe.
Quite frequently, yes, when he's home. And they have offered to have a charity golf day for me on the 18th of December.
That'll be a way of you being able to see your husband from time to time.
Well, actually, he won't be here at the time. But never mind. I will actually go down there and I will have a game of golf, my first game of golf ever.
Wow.
And for the cause, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. End of story. Yes.
But it's not. So for more details,
get
in touch with the Coral Cove
Golf Club. Yes, most certainly. Or contact me on my website, www.umojahome.com, and find out more details.
Best of luck with everything. Sincerely, we wish to stay. We want to stay in touch and find out how things are going.
Oh, definitely. I would love to come back. And thank you so much for having me on the show. Really.
Absolute pleasure. There you go. Walkervale teacher, librarian, Kathy Booth, on Breakfast on ABC Wide Bay, 7:28. News for the Wide Bay Burnets next.